Hello, antioxidant fruit lovers. Our second, well actually my third shipment from Nutrition for Longevity has arrived. I'm very excited about this one because this is only lunch and dinner, which is a new plan that they've come out with since we did our first review. I'll link to that first review in the About section below. You can see that it's filled with paper packing. Both of my cats are very interested. And then there's this on top. Then it has a meal guide. So this is new since the last time we got product to review. Or not review. They didn't send this to me to review. I paid for it. But I've chosen to review it. So usually, yeah. Day one. So this will be dinner and lunch for day one, which is going to be today for me, even though it's almost 3 o'clock. I actually only eat one meal a day, so I'll eat both of these together. Sometimes their microgreens are for several recipes, so we'll just have to see how it goes. And then this should be day two. This is their vegan 2,000 calorie meal plan for 3 days. And then here's day three. So on the menu guide, looks like there's a lot of information. And then, okay, so all of the recipes look like they're inside this meal guide. So in this video, I will go through all of that information and all of the cooking and whatnot so you can see how it goes. I should mention underneath this part, sometimes they have food under here, so always pull that out. And then these are just ice packets that I've learned to freeze and use for a multitude of purposes. Here we go, day one. So this is kind of interesting. It's kind of in general, and it actually has the vegan and pescatarian meals together in here. It talks about getting started. You guys can pause the video if you want to read that. And then this is all the breakfast stuff, so that's not going to apply to this review I'm doing here. And then that's all the snack stuff. We don't get snacks, so just lunches. So the first one is the Okinawa Pokey Beet Ramen Bowl. So that is our lunch. Whoops, that was dinner. So this is our lunch. I'll open it up and show you. What I like about their lunches is that it's literally just you dump it into a bowl. Whoops, or miss the bowl entirely. And once you add the dressing, it's ready to eat. I'm gonna wait to put the dressing on until after this has thawed out. As you can see, the olive oil is congratulated. I can't say that word, like your blood. So I will just wait until it kind of gets to room temperature before I put it on. Okay, so what's different in this one is it talks about lunches all together. So lunch day two, day three, and then you have to go to dinners. I think this is dinners. Yes. So this is Okinawa Taco Rice Bowl day one. Here's what's inside. White rice that's uncooked. Their Beefless Crumble, which is mushroom, pico de gallo, a carrot, scallion, tomatoes, cilantro, and then these greens and olive oil. So they first want you to cook the white rice, and they tell you what to do. Boil 3/4 cup water, put the rice in, reduce it to simmer after I've stirred it, and cover. So the carrots and tomatoes are cooking in here for 4 minutes. Rice is still going, and I've chopped up the scallions and the cilantro, and then it says that this is going to be on this bed of lettuce, so I tore that up for the bottom of my bowl. Next up is the Beefless Crumble. Whoops. This is what happens when you're trying to film and cook at the same time. Add that, stir it in, and then it's supposed to cook for an additional 3 to 4 minutes. Once the Beefless Crumble is warm, then you add it on top of the mixed greens, and then it says to add the pico, and then you can add cilantro and your scallions. You can also put the rice on here, is what they said. I don't really care much for rice unless I'm going to an Asian restaurant. So I'm probably gonna not put that on this one. They also talk about putting some microgreens on top. I haven't read through all the recipes, but that might be a good idea. If you care about dividing the microgreens up accordingly, then you might want to read through all the recipes and see which ones they're using, because it never specifies on this package. All right, I added some rice. So here are the day one meals, the lunch and the dinner. One of the biggest things that I learned from the last time doing this is that you absolutely want to use salt and pepper. I forget how much better it makes everything taste. I wasn't raised to add salt and pepper to my food, so if it's not listed, I don't tend to do that. So I think it looks a little bit different than the picture, wouldn't you say? It seemed like there's more like beef crumble in that. And then on the lunch, I'd say that's a little bit different looking too. There are some beets in the bottom there. The noodles on this one look a lot more dark, as if they've absorbed the salad dressing or something like that. But both of them taste good. I've already had a couple bites. Both of them smell good. And what I love about this is that I am not going to get this variety of ingredients if I were to cook for myself. In the summer of 2009, I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, rented a house for 6 weeks, and this would have been so ideal there because it's limited cooking and I had limited pots and pans with them. And then, you know, you don't have to go to the store and get like a huge bag of rice. You just have that little container and that's what you use, and you cook that up. Or the pico de gallo or the beef crumble. Like, in order for you to make that beef crumble, you'd have to buy an entire thing of mushrooms and then chop it all up. You wouldn't use everything. So I just really like this for so many reasons. All right, guys, jumping into day two. Here's the salad for lunch and here's dinner. So we'll empty the salad first. Looks like this one has some celery, grapes, maybe apple, I'm not sure, quinoa, and a little dressing. All right, guys, here's dinner day two. Looks like kale, cilantro, potatoes, polenta cake, tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, pesto, onion, white beans, and this is what it's supposed to look like. We know it ain't gonna look like that. All right, step number one, as it usually is onions and garlic, and I have it too high, so I've turned down the heat. All right, next up is potatoes and tomatoes. Add 1/4 cup of water, and then cover. So I'm gonna combine that all and cover it with this. Is to add the kale, parsley, and thyme. I actually didn't see any thyme in my packet, so I'm not sure about that one. But here are the white beans. I added salt and pepper to taste, and then you're supposed to stir it around and wait 3 to 5 minutes before we add the pesto and the polenta cake that came as a cake. I have stirred in the pesto, so now we're just gonna let that cook for a little bit longer. It smells divine. It's basil pesto, so it smells awesome. And you're just supposed to coat the vegetables with it. And then eventually we'll make a space in the middle for the polenta. Polenta cake, one thing that you definitely want to have on hand is extra olive oil, because I accidentally poured the entire container in and then it said, and use the 1/4 remaining olive oil. And I was like, oh, whoops. Anyway, I learned that from the last time. So this is the last 2 to 3 minutes. And honestly, dinner is so fast. It takes like maybe 15, 20 minutes. All right, guys, here's day two all done. Here's the Sardinian polenta cake with white bean stew. There's my version, looks a little bit different than that one. And then here is the Waldorf salad. So it's supposed to look like that, and it looks like this. But that's okay, I'm sure it will taste delicious. And again, as I've said, I really love the variety of ingredients, and also was thinking today when I was working in my yard that even if I traveled a ton or something like that and just was sick of going out to dinner, you know, wasn't home long enough to buy full groceries, this is a great option for someone like that as well. All right, guys, day three. I kind of got a bad aroma when I open these, so we'll see how it goes. This is lunch, this is dinner. Here's dinner. garlic and onions, cauliflower, carrots, celery, and parsley, and a little bit of cilantro, it looks like. So it says on the recipe that you're supposed to use cauliflower rice, but they don't give you cauliflower rice, they give you cauliflower. So we'll experiment with that. All right, peeled the stems off of the kale, and then we need to add it to the garlic and onions that I've been cooking for a little bit. You're supposed to wait till they're translucent so they're ready to go. And all of that is supposed to cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Then I add the turmeric powder that came in this little ramekin. And then finally, I'm gonna add this rainbow patty. I like that this already comes all done in another container and you don't have to do anything. It's just ready to go. I've had one of these rainbow patties before and they're really good. I still don't know what smelled kind of funky because I've smelled everything since and everything smells fresh. So it was weird that when I first opened it, it smelled funky. It said as the vegetables were cooking to start another pan with the other packet of olive oil and then put this patty over medium heat for that. I don't want to clean another pan, so I'm just going to do it while the vegetables are cooking. It might not turn out that great, but I'm the one eating it, so I'm the one on the hook. All right, guys, here's day 3. There were microgreens that they suggested to put on top of these. Obviously, it looks a lot different than the photo. The photo actually looks like it has rice in it. So there was no rice included this time, so I don't know why it looks like that. But and my patty, my rainbow patty, is on the bottom because of how I chose to cook it. And then the salad, the cabbage salad with the black beans, that's what it ended up looking like. Doesn't look like this. Doesn't have any tomatoes, doesn't have any corn. I don't know about parsley, but anyway, this is the first time that I've had a situation where ingredients are in the photo and not in the dish, other than last night with the thyme. So just a heads up there. They're all excellent, so I don't really care. That doesn't offend me or bother me or whatever. I will definitely order from them again. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or concerns that, you know, before you order from Nutrition for Longevity, and I will answer them the best that I can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.